to another fantastic episode of Martha. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, happy Thursday, happy Friday, happy Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Whenever you are listening to us, I hope you're having the best day ever. And guys, remember, if your day is not going the way that you had intended to, you have the power to turn it around and no one else. So you decide when you woke up today what side of the bed you wanted to get out of. The good side, the bad side, the happy side, the sad side, the grateful side, the ungrateful side. It's your choice. So guys, ask yourself, what kind of day do you want to have today? And go do it. All right. Guys, thank you so much for coming on in. We are at episode 78 today. And my gratitude this morning when I woke up was that I've been able to do this for just do this honestly. And my gratitude is to all of you who listen and who talk about it and who share about it and who have reached out to me and said such really kind and wonderful things. So please know that I hear you, I see you, I'm so grateful to you, and I just want you guys to know from the bottom of my heart, I am sending you so much love and just so much joy. And just please know that none of this is possible without you. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you very, very much. Okay. This episode is coming out Tuesday, not on Thursday, for a few reasons. One, Thursday's Thanksgiving, and let's be honest, I don't think anyone's gonna fucking listen to this Thursday because I know I won't be. I'll be helping prep my Thanksgiving meal with my Aunt Joanne. Normally it's me, her, and my brother. We kind of get everything done. We are her sous chefs, to say the least. So it's a lot of fun, and I look forward to that. But I wanted to put this episode out here, guys. For a number of reasons. One, I wanted to get it out before the holidays, and Tuesday just seemed like a good day. And honestly, it was what lined up best with my schedule. Okay, so before I get into what we're talking about, I want to give a quick congratulations to two of my friends, Carlos and Maggie, who just got married this past weekend. The most beautiful wedding, the most beautiful bride I have ever seen. They have had quite a roller coaster to got to get married, guys. They were supposed to get married the week that COVID shut down. So it would have been 2020. It was like we celebrated St. Patrick's Day the following week. They were supposed to get married. Obviously, it didn't happen. Almost 2 years, like, which is crazy to think about. So it was, I can't imagine the level of, stress that has come with doing this. But guys, I had a fucking ball and I had a blast and I was feeling myself in my fucking dress and I was having a moment. There are more pictures to come from that because your girl was just having a goddamn moment on Saturday. But guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to them because it was a great wedding and it was just absolutely wonderful. So guys, I love you. So happy you got to be a part of your day. Thank you very much for having me. Okay, what are we talking about today? So today I am talking with my sister Jillian, who I always knew at some point I would have her on. I never knew kind of what it looked like, we'll say. Okay, so not too long ago, my sister posted this beautiful post, and she posted it on Instagram about being lost. And Instagram is such a lie sometimes because it's so easy to edit. It's so easy to just show the highlights of life and not share the not so pretty sides of it. And so my sister had posted this. These aren't her words. She had reshared them, but I want to read to you what they are. So it says this: I wish people would normalize being lost in life and just not knowing anything, not knowing what you're passionate about, where you want to live, what you want to do, where you want to go, or what lies next. As a society, we normalized going to school, finding a passion, getting a job, finding a partner, getting married, having kids, working hard to earn an honest living. But what about when shit just doesn't go that way? You really just don't know. And what's even worse is you don't know why, you don't know, or even where to start. So you feel alone. You feel as though you're a disappointment to your family, as if you failed in life, but you haven't. It's okay to not know, to be lost, to have your whole life ahead of you to figure things out. Patience is a virtue. There is no time limit on life. You don't need to rush. Don't allow society to fixate the narrative of having all of your shit together at a certain age. It isn't realistic for most. Being lost is so much more normal than we think. And I just wish people would be transparent about it. So I read it and reached out to my sister right away. And I was like, Jill, that was beautiful. Like, that was absolutely beautiful. And I think, like, kind of like it said, more people are lost than those who care to admit it. And I think as we are approaching the holiday season, it can feel especially um, isolating for those who feel lost, because you're going to be around family, you're going to be around friends, you're going to have that like awkward family party, friend party small talk where they ask about the surface level things that really kind of just don't mean anything at the end of the day, of like, oh, you got the job, you got the career. How's this? How's that? And it can feel really tough to be in those situations when maybe you're surrounded by people who look like they have the boxes checked, right? And then in return, you look in and you're like, oh my God, like, what am I not doing right? Or whatever it may be. So I really believe that this conversation is just a reminder to all of those listening, or maybe someone you know, that you can be lost in life, and it's okay. And you have a community of people out there who are lost too. So I was really excited that Jill agreed to come on. I should also preface by saying that, like, this is very outside of Jill's um, wheelhouse. So I am very grateful that she decided to do this, just to kind of highlight a few things that we really kind of like, dove into. Jill kind of opened up about how she recently felt lost and what she has done to help with that, and what she has done to kind of take care of herself. We also talk about, and I've said this now. I don't know if I've ever said it on here, but I've said it to many family members and friends, that you need to learn how to date yourself. And I believe that when you know who you are, it is the greatest gift you can give yourself. And when you truly love you and embrace you, there's something that just kind of helps with being lost in life. And I almost think that the two kind of intertwine in a really like beautiful way that I didn't see coming. Jill kind of brought that up, and what was again strange was I had it written down on the piece of paper that where we sat, but I wasn't going to talk about it, and she brought it up, and I was like, okay, we're going here. And then on a funny side note, we also talked about Chinese kitchen, which is where we ended the night. I love Chinese kitchen. You'll figure it out, but you can eat in Chinese kitchen if anyone is in the Bridgeport area. And it's really good, and it's very futuristic in there. It's very strange. There's like a robot that brings you your food. Yeah. Anyways, so that's kind of what we talk about. And I want to go ahead and share this beautiful conversation with you guys that I really believe is going to help. Before we do that, I have 3 quick things for you. Number 1, stay till the end of my conversation for the segment called Here's a Tip for You this week. It's a good one. I think you will appreciate it, especially as we head into the holiday seasons where we're getting maybe some unsolicited stuff from people that we just really don't want to hear. Okay. All right. Number 2, guys, if you haven't, follow us along. It is Bar Talk with Jenna across the board. We are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. I still can't figure out TikTok. I'm really fucking trying though, but it's one day it's going to work, guys. Okay. So follow us along. You can share any of the posts that we have, like, subscribe on whatever platform that you listen to podcast. We are pretty much across the board on a lot more than honestly that like I'm aware of. Um, and then, guys, tell your friends. I would love it if you would tell your friends. I would love it if you would share maybe one of the snippet videos that I post on social media, just to get people involved in this. That would really mean a lot to me. We are growing here, and I want us all to share a drink and have a good conversation together. Okay. And number 3, it's a beautiful time of the year. If you are watching this, you can see that there's something burning in the background. No, my house is not on fire again. I learned my lesson the hard way. That pampas grass is never allowed in my house. What so fucking ever. But guys, that doesn't mean I don't love a good candle. It's the opposite. I indulge in candles. I have so many of them. The only candle I trust to have lighting in my house is by LYW. LYW standing for Light Your Way Candles. What I love about this candle, guys, is it's more than a candle. It's a reminder that you light the path that you are on in life. Okay. And it's the holiday season. Maybe you have a lot of gifts you need to give to people. Maybe you don't know what to get them. And I know it might sound silly, and I know I've said it before, but I really do believe that giving a candle is such a great and meaningful gift. It's small. Every time a person smells it, they're going to think of you. And how beautiful is that you give a gift to someone and they're going to look at it and be like, wow, that reminds me of Kevin. Who would have thought Kevin could do such a wonderful thing? I don't know, but I think you guys should totally do it. I will highlight my 3 current favorites right now. I need to go make a big bulk order for some gifts that I have to give this year. The Nightscape is absolutely wonderful, an absolute must have. And not only with the coloring of it, but the smell is perfection, is the class act. I just saw that Hannah put it back in stock. So I'm going to order that in bulk because it is the best smelling candle, hands down. And then for the holiday season, I'm really excited to get the evergreen. There's some rosemary, some sage. There was something else in there that I'm not going to lie, I really don't remember. Oh, pine tree, coming into pine tree. If you watch White Christmas, you'll understand that reference. If not, go on to Netflix and watch White Christmas, and then we can come back and talk about this later, okay? But guys, Hannah is kind enough to go ahead and give you 20% off this season using the code BARTALK20. So head on over to their Instagram page, which is LYW Candles, or head to their website, which is lywcandles.com. And don't forget to use code BARTALK20 at checkout to get 20% off your next order. Okay, guys, that is what I got for you today. I said it was going to be quick because truthfully, I just want you guys to hear this amazing conversation. And I want you guys to feel like you are a part of it because you are there with us. And believe me, you'll understand why in a little bit. So ladies and gentlemen, without absolute further ado, my conversation with my sister, Jill Duddleston, on being lost in life. Enjoy. All right, Jilly Boo. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, this isn't bad.
Yeah, I might drink more of that.
Mm-hmm. It's a big chug of wine kind of day. Okay, so haven't had you on yet. I can't believe I haven't had you. How have I not suckered you on here sooner?
I don't know. I'm glad that it's not later in life, though, because you're going to have way more followers down the road.
Thank you.
But I am very fucking nervous. I don't do microphones. I don't do cameras. So this is new to me, but I'm here for you.
Thank you. I appreciate you stepping outside of your comfort zone. I will try to make this as easy as possible, and you won't even notice.
It don't matter.
All of this shit here. So you had made a post, and I'm going to read it. I know they're not your words. You had reposted.
I know. So you called me after I posted this, and we're like, I love this. I'm like, I didn't write that. Do not go saying I did, but...
Yes. Yeah. But so I'm going to read it. And it says, I wish people would normalize being lost in life and just not knowing anything, not knowing what you're passionate about, where you want to live, what you want to do, where you want to go, or what lies next. As a society, we normalized going to school, finding a passion, getting a job, finding a partner, getting married, having kids, working hard to earn an honest living. But what about when shit just doesn't go that way? You really just don't know. And what's even worse is you don't know why you don't know or even where to start, so you feel alone. You feel as though you're a disappointment to your family, as if you failed in life, but you haven't. It's okay to not know, to be lost. You have your whole life ahead of you to figure things out. Patience is a virtue. There is no time limit on life. You don't need to rush. Don't allow society to fixate the narrative of having all of your shit together at a certain age. It isn't realistic for most. Being lost is so much more normal than we think, and I just wish people would be more transparent about it.
Yeah, when I read that, I was like, screenshot. I felt like mom. Screenshot. She screenshots everything she sees, but
yes, she does.
Yeah, I saved that one. And then Yeah, saw it in my camera roll a couple weeks later, and I was like, oh yeah, you know what? This is shareable. Other people could definitely hear this.
Yeah. What was the feedback that you got besides me?
More than, yeah. A lot of people like would DM it to me or like just send it. And it was like, thank you. I needed to hear that. And I was like, I hope that someone, that it benefited somebody else. And, or it made people say, this opened my eyes that I'm not okay, because
Yeah.
it did that too. But for the most part, people just really loved that and agreed with it, and we're glad to read it. So
Yeah. I think I had a conversation with a friend yesterday, and it wasn't the way the conversation was going to go, to be honest. I thought it was just going to be like, how's life? And she's like, I'm not happy. And what's even more, I don't want to say not happy, because I don't know if she'll listen to this, but I think she thought that what she wanted was going to make her happy, and it's not making her as happy as she thought. I think that's the best way to say it. And she had just got this big job promotion. She, put it out there, and I was like so excited for her. So I thought we were going to talk about like, oh my God, you just got this job promotion. This is incredible. Like, tell me all about it. And then I heard that, and I was like, oh my God, like, I was definitely taken aback, because again, it's not, the internet's not always what it seems to be, which I don't think helps. We kind of, Sunday, are you okay?
I know. He wants to be a part of it.
Yeah. So guys, the dog is the dog's here, and he's like behind the cameras and behind the light.
Right here and smile.
So I think you guys might see him from time to time. The goodest boy.
Okay.
Okay. He's better
Yes.
now.
What you're saying.
Yeah.
So I can relate to this in a sense.
Okay.
Because it sounds like what she's saying is, I'm doing all the things that I've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
But they're not making me feel the way I thought they were going to feel.
Yeah.
And I learned that. You go to school, you pick your thing, you graduate, you go do that job. And that's supposed to be the big thing. Like, you did it all. But that's not what's good. So I've learned that that's not success. It is successful. Like, that's a lot. People put in work and they get those things done, and that's amazing. But it doesn't mean you're going to be happy. And I really am learning that happiness is the most successful thing you can do in life.
Yeah.
Being truly happy that's the key to life. That's, so I totally hear where she's coming from on that.
Yeah. And happiness isn't it's not a destination. I think that was said in a One Tree Hill end of the line quote, but I don't even care. I'm going to take it, because I was like, it always stuck with me how you have to very consciously choose happiness, and it's a choice, and it's like, honestly, it's, you wake up and you get out of the bed, and what side of the bed do you want to get off of, the sad side or the happy side,
You have to do even the little things, because those are the big things, right? Graduating, a career, a family, those are the big things, but the little things are what's more important. Sit outside once in a while. Go to that store you love so much. Read that book. You watch that movie. Like, fill yourself up a little bit every day too.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that adds up as well.
Yeah.
So I think the little things are very important in this life too.
Have you in the past, I guess, like, felt lost?
Yeah. Well, the way I've discovered it recently is like, I was lost but didn't even know it.
Oh,
so
that's interesting.
Yeah. When I look back, it was like a maturity thing. I just didn't even realize how going through the motions, because I'm thinking I graduated. I'm living in a place that I'm paying for myself.
Checked all the boxes.
I have a career that I'm same career I went to school for. I'm doing all those things, but I was actually lost because it wasn't filling me up as much as it should have been. I needed the little things more.
So when did you realize that, like, maybe I'm not as picturesque happy as I'm portraying to myself and maybe others?
The pandemic.
Really?
Yeah, the pandemic, I'd say. Because it put me back home. So I'm in the house my parents grew up in, just because I could be, I'm not working because I got furloughed. So I'm going home, of course. I'm going to go see my mom and dad and my siblings. So I'm in the house, and, I'm in the place that built me, And I'm like, this is where I fell in love with art. And I started coloring and drawing. And now I'm doing the career that it was supposed to, you know, all those little things sent me to. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't in love with my job. You know what I mean? So,
like at the time or currently?
I had realized that I had not been in love with my job. Okay. Because at this point I'm furloughed.
Got you.
So I'm like, all right, you know, let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do about this. And then little changes started happening. And I paid attention to them. And I paid attention to how I was feeling and how they were making me feel. And I kept doing and feeding the ones that made me feel good.
So what was the one, can you give like for people who are either listening or watching mm-hmm. and who maybe feel...
Oh my God, people are watching too. I got lost in that conversation.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
Don't remind me.
I'm sorry, I won't remind you anymore.
Sorry.
So like you said, you started feeling those things. So can you give like a specific example of like what was a little thing that made you realize you were lost and you started to do like the opposite of that?
I started drawing. Well, I mean, this is like a personal thing.
Yeah,
so
it's different for
everyone. I'm going to
everyone.
answer personally. Yeah. I started drawing. I missed drawing. Mm-hmm. Didn't even know I missed it because it's not what you pay attention to the most in graphic design. Mm-hmm. You know, you're on the computer, so it's very different than working by hand. Mm-hmm. So I started drawing again, and I was like, oh, I miss this. You know, this is like, and also I was drawing for me. I wasn't drawing for a client to have them go print it and put it somewhere. Yeah. I was just drawing because I wanted to. And I was like, yeah, this is what I miss. I need to start doing something that's going to make me feel the same as this. Mm-hmm. So that was my little thing I paid attention to.
So like, what was it giving you inside that you hadn't had in a long time?
Well, you know, I love creating things. So those things like that I would create for me and not worry about what other people thought of it. Because it was just a thing I made. Yeah. Now I'm creating things for people to take somewhere to print and have others look at, or, you know, there's feedback on everything that I'm putting out now, especially in weddings. Like that's kind of like my number one place where I'm doing design. You know, I'm making what I'm making for the bride. I want her to be in love with it just as much as I am, because I love everything I make as well. But it's not only for me; it's for somebody else too. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was a little different that I realized. But I still love my job, and I still love what I do, and it does bring me joy. But I didn't realize that with drawing, it was only for me, and like just doodling as a kid, you know, it wasn't for anybody. It was just for me. Yeah. And I just think it opened my eyes to how different my life is now with my passion when it comes to what my passion is, which is creating and drawing.
Explain, how do you think it's changed?
It's because it's for other people. It's not only for me anymore.
Oh, yeah.
I have clients.
Yeah.
Which is such a weird thing to say.
That is a weird thing to say. But, I mean, you do, and you're great at it. Mm-hmm. And I've always said that. I think about little Violet and her little rock star.
That made my day.
Yeah. Yeah, she's the best. Jill drew a girl playing a guitar.
Well, I just sat on the floor with her and drew a little cartoon rock star for her. Yeah. And she took it home, and Jenna tells me she's had it hung up in her room since. Yeah. Which is the cutest thing I've ever heard. So cute. Because to me, you know, that was just a doodle, whatever.
Yeah, it was just a doodle.
But to her, it was like, that was the coolest thing she'd ever seen, and it just made me feel really, really great.
Yeah. What else, like, so drawing has helped. Has there been any other things that you've noticed?
Yeah, being around family.
Oh,
yeah. Holy shit, man. Yeah. I mean, you know, I went to college at 18 and was terrified. So much anxiety about not being around my loved ones, not being around my friends, or making new friends. And then I didn't want to leave that place. Yeah. You know, I ended up...
You and I did the opposite, I think, of what people expected.
I would agree.
Dude, fucking right.
Yeah. I ended up staying in the state of Iowa for 4 more years on my own choice, you know, and I don't regret it. Zero regrets. Like, it was because I loved my friends and my life, and I was just so happy where I was, you know, and I was like, well, I can do my career here. Yeah. And it's Iowa, so it's smaller than Chicago, and then I can take my experience there. Like, that was always what I thought was going to happen, right? Mm-hmm. Which it kind of did, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. I ended up staying in Iowa for 4 years.
Yeah.
And then coming home during the pandemic and being around my family, it's like I didn't even realize how much seeing y'all every day filled me up. You know? Yeah, we talk on the phone, we FaceTime, and we kept up, but like being around you every day made me feel so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say. Or it was like I just didn't realize how much I missed it, how much I needed it, and it brought me joy.
Yeah. I felt like when you were home, I would just like hug you.
You did.
And then you were like, Jen, I'm like, no, I'm not done.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'm not done. I'm not done. What, has there been anything else that, so, you know, that has helped you feel not so lost?
Sure. I mean, are we going to talk about love?
Yeah, we can.
Is that lame?
No. No, it's
not.
not.
Real red. Well, you know, I was in love in Iowa.
Yeah. Go ahead and drink. I'll drink too.
I was in love in Iowa. Didn't go well, didn't end well, but you go through it to grow through it. I regret nothing about my past when it comes to relationships because everything I went through made me who I am today, and it made me the girlfriend I am today, which I believe is a great one. I hope so.
Yeah.
So moving home during the pandemic, I met who I'm dating now, and they opened my eyes to what a relationship should be. So I learned a lot through that. But it's almost as if, you know, everything I went through in the past was what made me realize what's good.
Yeah. Yeah. What's that?
That pulled me home too. That's what I was saying.
It did.
Yeah.
No, it did. Yeah. And as much as I was like, you mean it wasn't us? I'm like, oh, it's fine.
No, of course.
It's like, it's fine. No, I get it. No, but I think it's helped you, maybe realize that I don't want to say that the stressors that you think aren't really stressors. And that being with someone that loves you and that you love, and being able to experience and just have those silly cooking dinner together
Sure.
or, you know, I don't know, listening to music or whatever, like that's what actually is important and that's what matters.
Hell yeah. He's my best friend, you know? So that's how it works. But what I realized was that, like, in the past, you think you need them to be happy. I need you. Never. You don't need anything. You do not need anything, which I learned. And between my past and now, I dated myself, which you taught me how to do. Date you. Are you gonna write?
It's on the notepad. It says how to date yourself.
Yes.
That was next week's episode, but we can talk about that too.
Yeah. No, you have to love you. You have to be good with you in order to be happy with another human.
Yeah.
100%. Like that, as cliche as it is, it's so true. So, you know, I learned, grew, figured, I was like, okay, I don't need fucking anybody. Like, I'm okay. I'm happy. And then I started saying yes to more things just because I wanted to see the world more, you know? I was so stuck somewhere. Now I'm like, let's go do things. I went to a party that I would have probably never gone. I went alone. I don't do that.
Not you.
No.
So
like,
not you.
No.
Yeah.
I went to a party alone, and that is where I ran into who I'm dating now.
Crazy.
So I was like, all right, we got to start saying yes to things. We got to start just letting things happen the way they're supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Stop being closed off to the world. Open up to it.
Open up to it. Stop. I don't want to say stop feeling because that's not the right, but realize that like you can feel alone, but realize that there are so many people who also feel alone. So like, why not all be alone together? I do want to get to the how to date yourself because that was no joke.
I know.
So yeah. I asked my friend that I talked to yesterday. She had said, you know, I was like, I'm going to ask you a question and I'm going to say 3, 2, 1 and you have to answer it and it has to be the first thing that comes to your mind. I was pulling a Phoebe Buffet from Friends. And I said, what is going to make you happy in life? 3, 2, 1. And she said a family. And I was like, okay.
A single person said
said that. She was like, you know, I'm in my late 20s. I am not, I'm doing this job that I thought was going to, make me happy. And I
a lot of people unhappy in their jobs in your friend group.
I know. But she was like, I really want to be with someone. Like, I really do. And I posed the question on her. I was like, okay, would you date yourself? And that's something that my therapist said to me, what would have been in 2019? Nope, 2019, summer of 2019. And he's mad because we're not giving him attention.
He's being such a diva.
He's being so dramatic.
He's huffing and puffing. All right, keep going.
Go ahead. But I said, my therapist asked me, she's like, what's your relationship like with you? And my always go-to defense mechanism for a question that I didn't want to answer was, what the fuck are you talking about? It was me laughing. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
So she deflected onto you because she couldn't answer it?
No. She asked me that question and I deflected.
Okay.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's so
this
stupid.
Is your therapist.
This is my therapist asking me
it.
this. And she was like, no, seriously, like, what's the relationship like with you? Like, do you take care of you? And I was like,
oh, shit.
Oh, fuck. and so my initial instinct was for just to be like, fuck you. Like, I don't want to answer this.
Call my ass out.
You call my ass out. But then I actually like sat in it and I thought about it. I was like, okay, what is my relationship towards me? Like, do I like me? And I, at the time, didn't. And I was like, okay, we need to like figure out how you're going to take care of you and how you're going to like you, because no one's going to fucking like you unless you like you.
Yeah.
And I encourage everyone to, after you're done listening to this episode, obviously, Oprah just did one of her Oprah conversations on Apple Podcasts with Will Smith. And he talks about him and Jada Pinkett, who have always had that like weird, controversial.
They love airing shit out to the media.
Yeah, and
their lives.
But he kind of talked about it in a way that was very raw, that I thought I hadn't heard him ever speak about. And he said to Oprah, "It is not Will's job to make Jada happy. It is Jada's job to make Jada happy. It is Will's job to make Will happy. And when Jada and Will come together, we are happy together because we each other are happy." And that's not verbatim, but the quote is somewhere along that line. Yeah. And I just remember being like, oh my God, like, it's such a weird concept, I think, for some people to grasp.
That's why in order to be in like a good in real love, you have to love you.
You have to love you.
You got to be good.
Yeah.
You can't come into something like, I hate my life. I hate myself. I'm anxious all the time. I'm depressed. Love me.
Yeah.
Would you love you? You don't want to date someone like that.
No.
Exactly.
And also, like, where you are in life is what you are attracting. So if you want, like, a high vibe man or woman, well, if you're fucking down here,
exactly,
you ain't getting that. You're getting this. So you have to if you got to raise up. No one's going down for you. You got to raise up to get that person.
Also, while we're like here, we should also visit the fact that if you're realizing this now, you're realizing you don't love yourself and you're in a relationship, you should walk away.
You think?
Yeah, I think you should walk away.
Even if you're happy in the relationship, but you're unhappy with yourself.
Well, yeah, I guess that's a factor.
That is a factor.
If they are part of why you're not okay. Okay. You should walk away.
If they're adding to stressors in your life. Okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, you should walk away because you got to be good with you.
Yeah. I guess.
And like that's a know when kind of thing.
Elaborate.
You can work through things like this when you're in a relationship. But if they're not trying to help you, they're not seeing it the way you're seeing it, you got to focus on you. Yeah. You got to walk away. I wish I knew that sooner, for sure. Yeah.
That's a tough growing pain, though, that there's no, you kind of just got to go through that storm in order to learn that lesson, I feel like.
Yeah, I say it all the time. You go through it to grow through it.
Yeah. I guess since I want to get back to the like feeling lost in life, but since we're on this dating subject, I want to stay on this. Can you explain how you started dating yourself? And I'll share how I started dating me, but I want to know how you started dating you.
Sure. So when I was like alone, I was like sad all the time because I was alone. Like, I'm tired. I got tired of feeling that way. And
tired
I was like,
of feeling sad
and alone.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do this anymore. Therapy wasn't even something I thought about. Wish it was. Just wasn't. So what I started doing was like what I was saying earlier, the little things. It's a little bit at a time. Mm-hmm. So I fell in love with taking baths. I know that's so cliche, lame, but no, like you read it scientifically, like taking a bath is good for your body. Mm-hmm. And you know that it all adds up. So taking baths I fell in love with. Going for a walk. I always thought, I'm going for a walk. You know, you say that when you're 80. Like, 27-year-olds don't go for walks. Like, I thought that was a weird thing. Never went for walks. And then I was like, well, I love being outside. All right, let's go for a walk. Mm-hmm. He was an excuse. I'm going to walk the dog. I'm sorry. I'm going to just say that right now. We're not going for a walk. I'm so sorry.
Oh, bud, we'll go later, okay?
Play with your ball.
We'll go later, okay?
He's
the actual star of this episode. It has nothing to do with you and I.
So, going outside, walking around, like exercising. I started playing volleyball twice a week. I got in every league that would ask me to be in it. I played volleyball all the time. I even got into a softball league, which like I hadn't played softball since high school. So I was like, I'm gonna suck, but I was one of the best ones on our team, and I loved it so much.
Yeah.
So that's another, going back to saying yes.
Yeah.
Saying yes and being more open to the world was how I started dating myself, because I learned what I liked and what I didn't like. I learned what made me happy and what I just really didn't care about. I started going out less. I found I didn't go out as often as I used to. I loved staying home and watching a show. I loved staying home and drawing. I loved staying home and reading a book.
Yeah.
That was how I started dating me. Yeah. Focus on filling up you. And then once you're filled up and you're happy and you're good, that's when people start looking at you.
Yeah.
They see you differently. People might want to start dating you once you're dating you.
You start attracting... I don't remember where I heard it, but there's like a when you are happy inside and when you give yourself the happiness that you are craving and you give that to yourself, you're literally illuminating, and your aura is different to people, and they may not be able to like see it with their naked eye, but there's something inside of them that is being drawn to you and that is being attracted to you, like moth to a flame almost, because they're like, why is this person the way that they are?
Why are they happy?
Why are they happy?
I want to be a part of it.
I want to be a part of this happiness, I love that, and I can relate to that. One of the things that I started doing, and I think people are probably going to make fun of me, but I don't even fucking care. I started going to dinner by myself.
Exactly. So I actually loved that, because there was a time in my life where I was going out to eat alone too.
Yeah, I loved it. I would go after work normally, because I was downtown at the time, would go to one of the places by us, and I preferred to sit at the bar. And I always gave that like vibe of like, please don't talk to me. Or if they were
like, I'm not here to meet anyone.
I was like, I'm not here to meet anyone.
I'm on a date with me.
I'm on a date with myself.
Yeah.
I would really like it if you would just shut the fuck up and leave me alone. But I started going out, and my thing was I would have a meal. Normally, depending on where I was, it was like an old fashioned or a nice glass of wine, and then I always got dessert at the end, and that was like me treating myself, and and it was fucking.
Dude, I know exactly what you're talking about. When I lived on High Street in Davenport, Iowa, shout out that fucking place.
Where was this one at?
This was my.
Was this the what house?
It was the small white one. It wasn't the best looking house. When Mom came to help me move, her and Thomas and Taylor were scared.
Okay, I do remember this house. Yes.
Anyways.
That's what I thought, but I didn't want to say that. Okay.
I started, the Village Inn was right around the corner.
Okay.
Another shout out to Davenport, Iowa.
Oh my God, yeah.
But I started going to the Village Inn by myself like once a week, and I'd bring a book, and they had free pie Wednesdays. So I'd go on Wednesdays, and I'd bring a book, and I'd eat a meal, and I'd have a slice of pie. And I didn't even tell anyone I would do that, really. Like, I just did that because it made me happy.
Made you so happy. Yeah, I love a good, if I can go out to eat somewhere by myself, oh my God, it just makes me so happy. So happy.
I haven't done it in a while.
I haven't. When was the last time? I did it maybe a month ago. I went to Chinese kitchen by myself.
myself. You can eat inside.
You can eat inside Chinese Kitchen.
Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah, so I ate at the bar, ordered a few rolls. I ordered a bunch of shit. I didn't even.
They
care.
have waitresses.
They have waitresses.
Wait.
I know.
I didn't know Chinese Kitchen was like a legit restaurant.
Well, I went to Franco's first because I was like, oh my God, a pasta and a glass of wine at the bar. And they were like, the kitchen's closed. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went down the block to Chinese Kitchen.
You have to make, only because I help you write these. I help Jenna write her summaries of what every episode's about.
Always.
You have to put Chinese Kitchen is an actual restaurant.
I'm going to write it down right now. Chinese Kitchen is a legit
I really just pictured it as like this walk-up Chinese place where there was maybe some tables if you wanted to sit and eat.
It is legit as shit.
Should we go to Chinese Kitchen after this episode?
We totally can. I think we should.
Okay.
The boy will be sad, but he'll be okay.
It's fine.
He'll be fine. What else did I started doing? I started doing that. I won't say it because it's my spot, but I have a spot that I go to in the city that is just like my me time. It's me and coffee. And okay. I like to go there and it's...
Is it the lake, Jen?
No, Jill. No, Jill.
It's my spot only. It's the lakefront.
It's the lakefront. No, but it was just a nice place to go and like unplug and just not be surrounded by noise.
I feel that. I bring it up because I fucking love the lake.
Yeah.
Like I've fallen in love with sitting by a body of water.
Oh, yeah.
Like that fills me up.
I mean, you've already said it. It is the lake. I won't say where at the lake because there's many spots at the lake. But you got it. But you got it. Yeah, I'm a water sign. So, but no, I love being...
Sagittarius?
It's in my charts. Water signs is in my...
You get all into it.
I get all into
all
that
I know
shit.
is I'm a Sagittarius. I don't know about my moons or my suns.
We can figure that out later.
I'm down.
I'm trying to think what else I've started doing. Oh, I love... When I don't go out to eat, I love cooking for myself.
Cooking.
I love cooking. I love a night in where... And this is going to sound so cliche, but I do not fucking care. Frank Sinatra is always on in the background. You know this about me. I love me some Frank and Dean
Mine's
Martin.
Ella Fitzgerald.
Yeah, like I love that era.
That's for when I'm cleaning, though. I do Ella when I'm cleaning.
Okay, no, but like Frank is on. I got like normally 3 or 4 pots on the stove. Something's in the oven. A glass of wine in my hand.
Do you tie an apron?
No, I don't have an apron. You can buy that for me for Christmas.
Merry Christmas. You're going to get an apron.
Thank you. I do want like a full apron. I've always wanted one. Oh, God. Because I love doing it. Because I do it at Josie's.
Okay, I know.
But no, so like I enjoy the like process of cooking and then having that on while I'm eating, like sitting down. And
I love cooking too.
I love it.
But that doesn't mean I'm good at it.
Oh.
I am not a good cook.
I'm no Emerald Agazi, but
I'll
not
find
bad.
something to
I'm
make.
Not bad.
I'll pull that recipe up. I'll buy all the ingredients. I'll sit there and do it. But I have to like
verbatim, like teaspoon to tablespoon.
Yep. Like ounces. I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay.
I just follow the recipe and hope for the best.
Yeah.
I am by no means a cook.
No.
But we'll try. Well, maybe we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Baking though, I like that.
You like baking?
I think I'm decent at that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love that. For dating yourself, and again, this is gonna sound weird to people, but like you should like seriously sit down and ask yourself what you like to do.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Because I think that'll help you figure out.
No matter how lame it is, too. No matter how weird it is.
Because it's only for you. It's for no one else.
There's zero judgment on what you like to do for you. Jenna likes to go eat out alone. So.
Jill likes to...
All of mine are cool.
And I'm the uncool one? You're not, though.
A weird thing I like to do, let me think. I mean, it's not even weird because a lot of girls do it. I love them murder documentaries.
Yeah, I haven't been able to get
I know
on.
You're not one of them.
It's a rabbit hole I don't know if I want to fall down.
I want to read and know all about the things that scare me the most.
Oh, that's interesting.
Which is why I also love sharks.
Yeah, you are a big shark gal.
Like, I'll watch every shark documentary. I'll watch every murder mystery documentary. Like, every serial killer. Like, give it to me. I want to know everything. I want to know why they were like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, that's my favorite thing to do. That was another date me moment. I watched all those.
Yeah.
Binged all those.
Yeah. That definitely helps. Okay, so with dating, and I honestly feel like the dating you and being lost in life kind of ties together.
Sure, it coincides.
It does.
Because you can start dating you and you don't know what you're doing still. You don't even realize you are dating you.
Yeah.
I would say I probably didn't even realize that's what I was doing. I was just lost, and I was trying to do one thing a day that made me feel better.
One thing a day that made you feel better. I love a good article, and I saw this, and I'm just going to read some of them. Like, just it was like 12 things you should remember when feeling lost in life. And out of all of the ones I read, this to me felt the most honest, I guess I'll say. And I'll link this article in the show notes if anyone would like to read it. The first one is recognize that it's okay. There are times you need to be alone. And that's a good thing. Like, there are times where you kind of need to not be surrounded by people and surrounded by noise, and where you need to just get quiet and be with yourself to figure out what's...
Yeah, I mean, if someone's helping you your whole life,
yeah,
what are you going to do when no one's left?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or if that ever happens,
yeah. 2, use your lost and loneliness as a self-directing guide, kind of like we talked about. Date yourself, figure out what you like.
Yeah, that coincides with that.
3, realize loneliness helps you face the truth. And that is tough.
Oh, dude, I was so blind in my past.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Blind as I just wouldn't. If I didn't acknowledge that it was bad, then it wasn't bad. That's how my brain functioned back then. But yeah, I agree with that for sure.
Yeah. Sunday snoring over there like a pig. 4, be aware that you have more control than you think. And I know for me, I was a person that had a lot of control freak tendencies that I think I've lost a lot of them. They're still around. I'm not going to say that they're not, because they're still around.
I can see this for you, for sure. Yeah.
But the one thing that I know I can control, and this is the only thing in life I can control, it is how I respond to what is coming.
Reaction.
My reaction is the only thing I can control. That's it. So that's the only thing you can control. You can be calm, you can be angry, you can be agitated, you can be annoyed, you can be sad, you can be angry, you can be happy, whatever, but like, that's your choice. 5, embrace the freedom that the feeling of being alone can offer, which I think is super unique. I thought this one was interesting because I feel like I've been in a phase right now where I'm very alone. I'm okay with that. I really have. Like, I live by myself now.
I was gonna say.
Well, you and I, obviously, but I think like I'm always with my family, and I'm always forever grateful for that. But right now, in terms of like external factors, I'm very much in a phase right now of being by myself, and I'm okay with that, because right now, what being alone has given me and what it's offering me is more insight to what I am meant to do and what is my purpose.
Sure.
And I would have never have been able to have figured that out if I was surrounded by noise.
I agree.
Yeah. 6, acknowledge the person you are now. Realize how far you've come.
Hell yeah.
Hell fucking yeah, right? 7, keep striving to do your best. And that's all you can do. Just wake up every day and try to be the best version of Jill or John or Kevin or Nicole or Amanda or Matt or whoever it is, like, you just have to be the best version of you and no one else.
Your only competition is yourself.
That's it. No one else. Don't forget that time is precious. So this one says, when we're lost in a sea of loneliness and depression, it's all too easy to reflect on regrets of past life events. This does nothing but feed negativity and perpetuate the situation. Instead of falling prey to this common pitfall, put one foot in front of the other and acknowledge every positive step you take. By doing this, you can celebrate the struggles you overcome at the end of the day.
I agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
I was totally that person. Just because I hate disappointing people, upsetting people, doing anything wrong. I hate that. So regret. That's where I always think about the things I regret. That's how I used to be. Was always thinking about that shit. How could I? What if I did that? Would I be here right now? What if I would have done this different? Would I feel like this right now? That putting my thoughts and energy into that changes nothing. those things have happened. They're always going to happen. They stay. That's permanent. All you can do is go forward. Yep. You have to go forward. You have to think about the next step you're going to take, how you're going to change. Okay, so if you're thinking about those things and that's still how you feel, don't fixate on those things. Fixate on the things that's going to change the way you feel now.
Yeah.
Do something else.
Yeah.
Keep going.
This is going to be a tough one for some people to hear. However, it's the God's honest truth, and it's remember things happen for a reason.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like, yeah, if something happened to remove you from something or remove something from you, that's happening for a reason. Like, I believe in all that shit. I believe in the universe. Like, yeah. It sets things right for each and every one of us.
Yeah, it's so true. This one screams Jenna because it's literally right over there. It says journal during this time.
Oh yeah,
which is your girl fucking love to do.
I'll like throw things in my notes that I like have happening over and over in my head. I'll like write it down in my notes, but I do not own a journal. No,
I own multiple. There's 2 over there, and
you're a journal enthusiast.
5 over there. I am a journal enthusiast, and I even said to Mom, I'm gonna pull this out. This is gonna be so funny. Mom asked me one year, she's like, "What do you want for Christmas?" I said, "Good pens."
I remember that year. I got some too.
And she was like, "You want what?" I'm like, there is nothing more sexy than a good pen to a piece of paper. Oh my God. I stayed up one night Googling what are the best pens.
Oh yeah.
And I read an article about the 100 best pens in the world.
I like my good markers.
Oh yeah. So you're the same. It's you like coloring.
Because you're writing, I'm drawing something. Yeah. So I need my good drawing markers. You need your nice writing pens.
I need my nice writing.
Your words, I'm pictures.
Your pictures. Okay, 11, remember you aren't the first person to feel this way.
Oh yeah.
And I think that
as alone as you feel, you're really not.
As alone as you feel, you're not. And it maybe the people you're surrounded by don't understand. That doesn't mean that there aren't people out there who can't relate. You're just surrounded by people who haven't been through that experience. And I think one of the beneficial sides of the internet, of smartphones, as much as, people are always like, this is the worst thing ever. I think there are a lot of really beautiful communities out there that you can find.
I agree. I think this goes back to the saying yes to things because, go to something. Go meet someone. Like, be more open to the world because you never know who you're going to meet. Because I met people somewhere that I never thought I'd find myself, and these people have become my people. And I'm like, I needed to be surrounded like people like you the whole time. This makes me feel so much better. You never know who you're going to meet, and you're definitely not alone. No. Someone out there feels the same way as you, for sure.
Yeah. 12 is ask for help if the problem persists. And know that there are people who want to help. There are people in your life who will help you, who want to make sure that you're okay, that want to make sure that you are in a good state of mind. So, you figure out who that person is that you can talk to and reach out to. And they might not have the answers to give you, but that doesn't mean they can't help you find them.
If you can talk to someone who's never going to judge you, talk to them. And that's how you're that for me.
Oh, thanks, boo.
I tell you everything.
Thanks, boo.
So yeah, it's nice having a Jenna. Go find your Jenna. There's always someone to talk to.
Oh my God, Jill, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
And that's a great way to end the episode too. Go find your Jenna.
Go find your Jenna. Honestly, that was honestly about it. I was gonna say, unless you had anything that you wanted to ask me.
No. This is as long as I've ever been talking into a microphone or a camera or anything before. So, okay, I'm all set.
All right. Well, we'll raise a glass and we'll go get Chinese kitchen.
Fuck yeah, dude.
What do you want to cheers to?
You know what? Cheers to being lost and fucking embrace it. Embrace it.
So
it's about to be the best time of your life.
So if you're lost. Embrace the loneliness because there's only good things to come from it.
Hell yeah. Cheers.
Alrighty then, guys. Thank you so much for listening on in. If you've made it all the way to the end, I tip my cap to you. Thank you very much for listening. I loved that conversation. I love my sister Jill. Jill does a lot with Bar Talk that people probably don't know about, because there's a lot that go on the other side of the camera, on the other side of the mic, that people don't see, and that's totally fine. But Jill helps out in so many ways. And honestly, I know I've said it before and I'll say it again. It would be really hard to be doing everything I'm doing without her, because she is such an instrumental part in this process. So Jillian, my darling, I love you. Thank you for everything. And guys, if you're interested in following my sister, her handle is at Jill Duddleston, spelled the exact same way as me, because we're related. All right. So I said I had a tip for you this week. So here's a tip for you. If you wouldn't go to this person for advice, don't take theirs. Now, I said that to a cousin of mine not that long ago. She was going through quite an interesting phase in life. And I said, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to project onto you. This is when you need to have your blinders on, and this is when you need to kind of have your defense shield up a little bit, okay? I always say people are always coming from a place of advice, but that doesn't mean they're coming from the same place within you, okay? So you can enjoy a person, but if you're not going to go to them for advice, guys, just don't take theirs. You don't have to. I don't know about you, but I know for me, for the longest time, I used to be very easily swayed by people's advice. So I wouldn't tell anyone, because when people would say things, I would listen to it right away. So I've had to give myself this advice of, don't go for you for advice, so I'm not going to take yours. Sorry. And guys, it's not you being mean, it's you protecting yourself, okay? So again, I could, talk in circles about this truthfully, and I know I've said it, I guess, on here, and just I don't know if this is even making fucking sense right now, but if you're going through something and you need advice of people, there's nothing wrong with going to people for advice. But when people start freely giving you advice, you don't have to accept it at all. Okay? If you don't go to a person for advice, don't take theirs. Hope that helps. Take with it what you will. And that is all I got for you guys today. All right, guys, I really appreciate you listening on in. If you are listening to this before Thanksgiving, I hope you have an absolute blessed and wonderful Thanksgiving, surrounded by family and friends and loved ones. If you're listening to this after Thanksgiving, I guess happy holiday season. And hoop-de-hoop. All right, I'm done. And I'm done. I'm okay. I'm actually done this time. Okay. But guys, thank you again for listening on in. I really appreciate it. And remember to take the time today to realize that we have way more in common with each other than we have different. I will see you next time. Take care.
Hey, everybody, it's closing time. You don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here.